Roberticus the Jewler. Chapter 1. Roberticus Economicus. In a town far away from here, and far smaller than a regular town, there lived a great jeweler named Roberticus Economicus. A fine jeweler indeed Roberticus was. He was the finest decipherer of precious gems and stones in the East. He was also a procurer of man's ancient knowledge of alchemy. That being the dark art sister of chemistry, Roberticus was fascinated by jewels, gems and potions. He loved digging into his catacomb of literature, often reading and rereading his books on identifying stones and rocks, but this was daytime reading for Roberticus. At night, however, he would pull out his secret stash of books. Banned by the Republic of Shiggidyshwah, these books contained the well-kept secrets of mankind, and the forbidden teachings of his other favorite subject, alchemy. Roberticus had always had the belief that one day his findings and discoveries would be looked at as the precursor to man's ultimate immortality. Roberticus, of course, becoming the first human being to become immortal, he had the idea that with the right stone and carefully concocted concoction correctly crafted to the T, he would be able to replicate the fountains of youth. That belief was well-founded indeed. Roberticus was a kind geezer. He was well liked by the geriatric and much admired by the children as well. Misso Economicus, Misso Economicus. The children would holler, "You got a stone for us today, son? Whose birthday is it today?" Roberticus chuckled with the cheerful children. "Now you little tossers ain't foolin' with old Roberticus, ain't that right? It best be one of you's days of birth, right?" He jokingly hassled the children. Roberticus knew the children would often fib a birthday in July. Their excitement overcame their honesty as they were always unable to wait a month for their new stone, since none of the children had a birthday in July. He would often give his precious stones away to any local child claiming a birthday. Quite a standout old chap he was, stood out so much so that some envious blokes took notice. The other jewelers in the town loathed the kind Roberticus. Loafers even had a plan to get rid of old Roberticus for good, however those plans would never come to full fruition. They tried many of ways to rid themselves of the pesky jeweler, be it fate, or the puree concoction of genius that's cooked daily in Roberticus' brain. All attempts against him were thwarted. One time they tried to take out Roberticus with a chainsaw to his stomach. The chainsaw no match, however, as Roberticus had came up with his titanium epidermium liquid concoction just the night before. His skin, when introduced to any fast-moving or sharp foreign object, would become impressively impenetrable, forming a titanium alloy-like liquid, straight out of Terminator 2 he thought. The titanium epidermium would be the first of many elixirs Roberticus would invent, sharing none of them with the public. Only the rumor that Mr. Economicus was more than a kind jeweler, much more. Crazy clam-baked townies had plenty of claims, one of which was that Roberticus was not really a jeweler, but an all-powerful sorcerer plotting precise peril particularly on people he had personal pish-posh with prior, and the jeweler was just his cover, sorcery of the darkest kind. So dark that even with the fine candlestick lit you wouldn't see shit. One of the town's clergymen was overheard by young boy Willis talking about the black magic witch doctor. "He's into the black magic, I tell ya, and us good folk got to take care of it." "You're frickin' right," said the other man, a street-sweeping shopkeep. "We got to make sure he don't be spreading that hubaloo to the youngsters." Cracking down. "It's crunch time, comrade, goddamit. No, if that turn gatherin' sooner bitch, I tell you what. That be frickin' right over more gurdum, putrefied dead carcass, I swear it now to ya. We will gather up a few good men, trustworthy townspeople to turn together into an intolerant team, unaccepting of tricksters and trolls trying to take over the town. The 7 members of the intolerant team would all face the fate many would consider their own doing, testing the limits and patience of a kind old jeweler until he snapped. Or maybe quite truly it could have been the actual cruel intentions of Roberticus Economicus to firmly fester in the minds of these everyday citizens until they could take no more. We will not know the truth in any kind of fashion, but each individual who knew of the matter had made their decision on what that was, all telling their own tale of the 7 men who died in a feud with a kind elderly jeweler named Roberticus.